Hi, everyone. My name is Alexis, and I have been asked to share some of my story and some of my information about why I love health and nutrition so much. So, we're going to go over a couple of details. I am going to share my screen with you so that we can be on the same page. But just to give you a little bit of information about who I am and what I do and how I got to where I am today, I love to help people just really fall in love with health and taking care of themselves and taking care of their bodies. Our bodies are an amazing machine. We are extremely blessed with the abilities that we have. And I love to help people realize that you don't have to count every single calorie that goes in your body, and you don't have to hate exercising, and you don't have to dread this process of living a healthy lifestyle. I have always been super active. I played sports all year round in high school, but I didn't always have health in the forefront of my mind. I was actually going to school for child psychology when I had some life situations that kind of shifted my focus over to health and fitness and nutrition. So these are some of the ladies that I get to love to work with. I teach Zumba classes and Strong by Zumba classes, and I love to run boot camp classes and do weight loss challenges, and I just love to create a community of people who love to be healthy. And it doesn't matter where you are starting on that journey, whether you have always lived a healthy lifestyle and you just want to continue to do that, or whether you haven't worked out a day in your life. I don't care where you're starting at. I don't care what your pant size is. There's always something that you can do to just really create a better, healthy lifestyle for yourself. So, that being said, I always get questions either before or after classes that are like, well, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to live a healthier lifestyle? Everybody's talking about living a healthy lifestyle, but there's so much information out there. What exactly does that mean? And I like to tell people just keep it simple. You guys could get caught down a rabbit hole researching and pinning for all the live long day. But if you focus on hydrating your body, if you focus on drinking water, um, and cutting out all of the extra sugary drinks and sodas, that is a huge step, major step one. The next thing is to really focus on fueling your body with foods that are nutritious and whole and good for your body. So, eating healthy. The next, obviously, is staying active. I always say a body in motion stays in motion. So if you want to live into your 70s and 80s and 90s and still be able to move your joints and your limbs, you have to start to do that now, and you have to keep an active lifestyle going. We are blessed to be able to move our body. You guys should never say that you have to work out. You should feel like it is a privilege to be able to work out your body and move your body, because it absolutely is. The next thing I say is you have to focus on how you manage your stress. I will not say live a stress-free life, because I know that that's absolutely ridiculous and impossible. Life is stressful. It gets messy sometimes, but how you manage your stress does affect your body. It also affects your sleep, which is also really important. So that's the other thing that's really important, to be able to restore your body and to let your body kind of naturally do the things that it needs to do. So sleep is super important, but life also gets in the way of sleep. So those are kind of my quick answers, but there's a lot of things that you could do that will actually impact each of those things. And like I said before, I don't really care where you're starting on this health journey. There's always something that you can do to create a positive impact on your health. And so it is never too late to change. It doesn't matter what your past looks like. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's always room for improvement when it comes to your health. And this is my father. This is the reason why I sort of shifted from what I thought I was going to be doing to in child psychology to focusing on health and nutrition. During my junior year of college down in Champaign, Urbana, I was at the University of Illinois. My father started to get really sick during that summer, and it took a lot of time and a lot of testing to come out with a diagnosis finally, months and months later, that he was stage 4 with cancer. It was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma for him. He lost about 65 pounds in about like 45 days. So his was really focused in attacking his liver. His liver was shutting down really fast. And so it was a little bit of a scary time. If any of you guys have experienced cancer yourself or for a loved one or friend, it's absolutely horrible. Cancer sucks. And so this was for me and my family the thing that really made us change and focus on health and what is health and how do we stay healthy and what is cellular nutrition. I was, like I said, down in Champaign, and luckily the Lord knew what he was doing when he helped me make my class schedule that year. But I had classes from Monday through Thursday and I had Friday off. So I would either hop in the car Thursday night or early Friday morning, and I would be a student at U of I Monday through Thursday, and I would come home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and be with my family and my little brothers and my dad. And my dad is a pretty ridiculous and hilarious guy. And so we would have chemo parties and we would sit there and we would play music, and he would walk in with his Rasta hat that you can see in there with his dreadlocks there because he was losing his hair. But we made the best situation out of it that we could, but it was definitely a scary time. So there was lots for me to learn during that time in our lives and what he was going through and why this was happening and what was happening in his body. And it really, really started to get me to focus on your cells, on cellular health, because his cells were literally attacking his body. And so this is where I really started to shift and focus on this. And what I have learned at this point, to kind of pull this into a nutshell, so we're not here for an hour, is that your health matters all the way down to a cellular level. In order for you to stay healthy, your cells have to stay healthy. And so the question is, how do you keep your cells healthy? The majority of us don't think about our cells on a daily basis. You don't wake up in the morning and say, oh man, my cells feel great today. Nobody says that. And you don't worry about your cells, and you don't worry about the function. You don't worry about what it's doing until you're at the point where something is going wrong, right? And now we need to address it and we need to pay attention to it. And here's one of the things that I love to show people, because since we don't focus on our cells, since we don't think about them, we don't really know what they're doing in there, what they look like. The picture all the way to the left there is a picture of healthy cells. Those are human cells. That's what your cells are supposed to look like under a microscope. But the picture in the middle is a picture of those same healthy cells after your body has been fed sort of like a fast food, high fatty, carb meal. What happens is your cells really go into spasm for like anywhere up to like 8 hours after you eat that one meal. Now, I don't know about you, but me personally, after sometime between 8 hours, I'm hungry and I'm eating again. So if I'm choosing to eat unhealthy meals more than once a day, that picture in the middle there is exactly what your cells look like in your body. And when you think about your cells in your body, those also include your immune cells, your fighter cells, the ones that are supposed to keep you healthy. And if we're constantly feeding our body foods that are bad for us, toxins, things that we are exposed to naturally, even if we're not choosing to eat them, this is what our cells could look like. This is what our immune system could look like for a large majority of the day. Now, one of the things that I learned was that when your body is exposed to things that could damage it, like free radicals, like oxidative stress, right? The picture in the middle is what they look like. But if you are constantly feeding your body a source of antioxidants, which is the thing that fights that oxidative stress, fights those bad foods and the chemicals and things that we eat, what happens is the picture all the way over to the right, your body, your cells will actually start to regroup a lot faster within 30 minutes to an hour after eating that same fast food type meal, versus being in spasm like that for up to 8 hours. So there's a huge difference, 1 hour to 8 hours. And one of the things that really blew my mind when I was learning about all of this stuff and what was going on in my dad's body and cancer patients' bodies is that your immune system is just fighting one hell of a fight. Your white blood cells, you guys, your body makes like a literally billion white blood cells, immune fighting cells every single day. So if we're constantly feeding our body foods that are making our cells go into spasm and looking like they do in that middle picture, it's really no wonder why we are where we are right now in the United States and in the world in terms of health in our society. And so it's really kind of scary to know what we're doing and how much it impacts our body, but it's also really powerful to know that we can change those choices and we can make a really positive impact on our bodies and on ourselves in order for us to stay healthy. So people ask me all the time, okay, well, if I eat healthy, does that mean that I won't be exposed to all of those free radicals, all that oxidative stress? And the answer sadly is no. You guys, there's no way to get around free radicals. It's in the pollution, in the air that we breathe. Our body actually will create free radicals just by doing what it's supposed to do, by creating energy for us that kind of like run off like the exhaust in a car, that run off a little bit for that process in our body, also creates free radicals in radiation, in foods and drinks and things like that. So there's no way to get around free radicals. It's just a way of life, but we can arm our body with the antioxidants needed to kind of combat that damage. And here's what happens in your body when we're talking on a cellular level. My like science-based information, I told you I was going to school for child psychology, so it's not too much like cellular science in there. So I'm going to go all the way back to like junior high science, and we're talking about like cells and membranes and electrons and nucleuses and DNA. That's where we're going to stay right here in this picture, is because when those cells are exposed to the free radicals, to foods, to pollution, to stuff that's in the air that we're breathing in, what happens is those free radicals kind of go and they damage the outside of your cellular membrane. Your cellular membrane is really made to kind of go ahead and protect the inside of that cell, the powerhouse, the DNA, the coating of your body, that cell. That's the job of that cellular membrane. But the more and more free radicals that our bodies are exposed to, those free radicals just kind of generally like to come in and steal a little piece of that protection every time that it's kind of like reaching out and damaging another cell. That's what it's doing. And every time it kind of zaps another cell, it takes away a little piece of that protection that that cellular membrane is doing. And so after so much exposure to free radicals and that damage that's happening, is those free radicals are able to go ahead and break through that cellular membrane, and they're able to kind of go ahead and change and alter the coding for our body, the coding for our DNA, damage the signal that our cells are sending, all of that kind of stuff. So that's the damage that those free radicals are doing to our body and to our cells. That's also why it's so important to arm your body with all the antioxidants that you can, because those antioxidants is what protects that process from happening. It's what protects the damage from that oxidative stress and those free radicals from happening. Now, what happens when you don't have enough antioxidant power and those free radicals kind of overtake? That starts to look like these things here in your body, like cardiovascular diseases, arthritis, things like Alzheimer, autoimmune disease, cancers, and all of the things that really cause any sort of inflammation in your body. When something happens in your body sends cells to kind of go ahead, call attention to it, and see if they can go ahead and fix it. So that inflammation is a natural process to try to fix something that should not be happening in your body. But when you can't fix it, this is what it starts to present itself as in your body. Some of these things here and many, many more. And then we start to look over the years at what are the top leading causes of premature deaths in our nation. And take a look at the list here, you guys. Cardiovascular disease, cancer, stroke, respiratory disease, diabetes. I don't know of anyone at this point who would not be able to say that they don't know somebody who has been affected by either any one of those things. That's just how prevalent they have become. And I'm a new mom right now. I just had a daughter 5 months ago, and it's kind of scary when you start to think about like what is in her DNA and what is in her coding. Because when I look at this list here, of the leading causes of diseases and deaths, I have to think about what's in my family tree and what is in my husband's family tree. And I can check off every single one of these. Cardiovascular disease, cancer, stroke, respiratory disease, and diabetes run, if not on one, but on both sides of her family tree. So it's really a little bit scary to think about that stuff, but it also just really, really makes me know that I am doing the right thing and doing as much as I can to keep her healthy and to keep any of these things that are could possibly be lying around in her DNA to not necessarily be turned on, right? So I am going to help her learn how to just live the healthiest lifestyle that she can and take care of her body as much as she can so that we don't have to maybe deal with some of these. Because when you think about diseases, I hear a lot of times some people will say, well, this runs in my family. X, Y, and Z runs in my family. So I might as well just enjoy life now because I know it's going to come to me in the future. Or I might as well just eat this double cheeseburger because diabetes runs in my family. So I'm going to get it anyways. But I just want to like shake people when I hear them say that, because just because you have something that possibly runs in your DNA doesn't necessarily mean that you have to live the lifestyle that's going to turn those genes on. And so when you think about how much your lifestyle and your diet can impact your health, look at what's on here: colon cancer, stroke, heart disease, diabetes. These were all things that were on that leading causes of death, just the last slide. But look at how much is preventable based on the choices that we make every single day. So just because something runs in your family, you guys, does not mean that you just have to lie down and wait for it to get there. There are a lot of things that you can do to just do your part in making sure that you don't have to live with that ailment, that disease, that arthritis, any of those things. And so the next question is then, all right, well, it sounds great, but how do I do it? There is so much out there, and what should I be looking for, and what should I be taking, and what should I be doing to exercise, and all of those questions. And the thing that I tell people in terms of food and nutrition is you have got to arm your body with antioxidants. You have to eat healthy. You've got to keep moving. Exercise is a whole new deal that we can talk about in a different video. But for this one now, I'm just going to be focusing on antioxidants and nutrition, and how do you feed your body enough so that you can combat that oxidative stress that we're dealing with on a daily basis. We're literally, with every breath that we are taking, your body is fighting oxidative stress and free radicals. And so a lot of times people will say, okay, well, what should I eat? And can I eat my way to health? And I love it when people ask me that question, because that means that you're already thinking about, how do I eat my way to health? How do I make sure that I am eating healthy enough? And there are a million different recipes and philosophies and ways to think about what you can feed your body. But what I will tell you right now is that the way that our world works right now, the way that the regulations are set for the food industry and for the farming industry, the fruits and vegetables that we are eating right now nutritionally are not the same fruits and vegetables that our grandparents and our great grandparents were eating. So even when we are choosing to eat healthy, I love to eat healthy. I don't eat perfect all the time. I will definitely be the first one to tell you that. But even when I am eating healthy and staying on top of tip-top shape of what I choose to put in my body, there's just no way that what we can intake right now will be enough for what our body needs. So taking a look at what you would have to eat just to get enough vitamin E for your body, it's the numbers on these slides right here. So you'd have to eat almost 3.5 pounds of wheat germ, or almost 30 pounds of spinach. I actually love salads. I could eat salads like for lunch and dinner every day. But even if I did that, there's no way that I could eat almost 30 pounds of spinach every single day. I can sneak it into a shake. I can eat it in a salad for lunch, side salad for dinner. It's never going to equal 30 pounds of spinach in one day. I'm never going to eat 3 cups of almonds either in one day. So those are just the numbers for just vitamin E, and your body needs so much more than just vitamin E. It needs so many more minerals and other things that you need to be looking for. So how do you ensure that you are going to be able to get that in your diet on a daily basis? And so at this point, the medical association, doctors across the world are saying, yes, you need to be on a multivitamin, a quality multivitamin, because we're just not getting it in our foods alone. So if doctors are saying at this point, that they're advocating that you should be taking a multivitamin, what do? You run out to the store, you run out to like a GNC or a Fruitful Yield, anywhere at this point, Walmart, Walgreens, everyone's got something that you could buy that is a supplement for you, right? But on the other end of that, you also hear a lot of stories in the news about articles on the internet and stuff like that about products, about companies that are being recalled, that were doing more damage than they were doing good, that are being recalled for ingredients in there that should not be in there. And that is because there's really not a lot in the way of the guidelines for how supplements have to be manufactured and the guidelines that they have to adhere to. And so there's a really, really big arena out there for supplements, but the scary thing is they're not really regulated very well. So I'm sure you have heard that before, and this is why the FDA kind of put out this, like, I like to call it like an 80-20 rule, right? So what they said is that for a company to sell a supplement or even your food that you get at a grocery store, you guys, they're only 20% of what is inside that bottle, inside that vitamin E or inside that biotin or inside that B complex that you want to take, right? When you go to the store and you pick that bottle up, got a bottle right here. When you go to the store and you pick that bottle up and you do what? You flip it over and you look at the list of ingredients to make sure that it's got everything that you're looking for, to make sure that it has enough of that ingredient in there to meet your daily recommended dosage. This is, you look at the label, guys, and we are supposed to trust what we are looking at. But the problem is, if it's a food grade supplement, only 20% of what is inside these products have to be listed on the label. The other 80% by law does not have to be listed on there. So that's why we see such a recall of products and such a new smattering of things like, poisons or leads or, animal droppings, all these different things in there, products that have been found to have just like rice or flours and fillers in there because they don't have to put that other 80% on there. So it's really misleading and it's really frustrating because people are taking the time to do a little bit of research, taking the time to go to the store, spending your hard-earned money on products because you're trying to make a good decision and you're trying to do good for your body, but it's really hard to make a decision like that and to get products that you're paying for, get that nutrition in your body when only 20% of what's on that label is actually true. The same thing runs true for all of those meal replacements and protein shakes. It falls under the food guidelines there. So these are just some of the more popular ones that are out there. And these are the ones that sometimes get recalled, or when they're doing testing on them, they're finding out that what they claim to have in those products is not really what's actually in those products. So, Arnold Schwarzenegger's only has 19% of the 40 grams that's on the label. That's a huge difference. That's a really big name out there that people follow and trust, right? He had a rockin' body for how long, and he was able to do it. So if he did it and this is what he's promoting, why wouldn't you be able to trust it? It's a food grade product. And so you cannot trust exactly what's on the label. Same thing with CVS. CVS is a pharmacy. So why are they not producing what they should be producing in their products? 16% less than what they claimed. GNC is a huge name in health and fitness and nutrition. They didn't meet the protein claims. Inner Armour's 19 out of the 50 that they promised. It's a huge difference and really a waste of money when you think about it, because you think you're getting one thing and you're really not getting what you pay for. So I tell people that yes, you do need to be taking a multivitamin, but what you do need to do is find one that is pharmaceutical grade. And there's a very small handful of companies out there that actually do follow the pharmaceutical grade standards and rules and guidelines. And when you do that, you really got to cling on to that product because it's going to be something that you can actually trust. So just to give you a little example of why it's so confusing and why it's misleading when you run to a store and you pick up a bottle and look at the label, because of that 80-20 kind of ruling there, you think that you're looking at one thing on a label, but it really is breaking down into something else. So if you take a look at the bottom of the screen where it says a food grade label, and you look at the numbers there and you compare it to the one at the top that says pharmaceutical grade, it looks identical, you guys. It's vitamin C, D, E, K, all of the things that you are looking for in a supplement. But when you're looking at a food grade product, when they are able to leave out all of the extra ingredients that they have in there that really breaks down the purity of the product, you get something totally different. So if we just take a look at vitamin D, we're just going to take a look at one thing in here. That bottom food grade one says vitamin D, 400 IU's, 100% of your daily dosage, right? But when you break it down, it actually is 0.1% vitamin D dilution in a base of dicalcium phosphate and then a bunch of other science words. That's not exactly 100% of vitamin D. That's not exactly the claim that they're making. But when you have a product that is pharmaceutical grade, by law, 100% of every single thing that they put inside your product absolutely has to make it onto the label so that you know and you can trust what you're taking is what they're saying is what it is. So when you look at a vitamin D on a pharmaceutical grade product, 400 IU's, 100% of your daily dosage, it's just pure vitamin D. So there's a huge difference in the quality and the purity and the potency of what you're taking when you're talking about a pharmaceutical grade product versus a food grade product. And so I have done some research, and the company that I choose to trust is called Usana Health Sciences. It is a company that's been around for about 26, 27 years at this point. And there's a bunch of different reasons why I trust this product. Some of the stickers on the bottom there, those are their third-party verifications, other companies that don't take any money from the other companies to go ahead and go in there and go into their manufacturing plants and to make sure that they're actually doing what they say that they are doing, that they actually have the ingredients in their products listed on the label. Usana actually also has its own manufacturing plant, so they know absolutely 100% of what's going on with their products, what's going in them, where it's happening, making sure that there's no cross-contamination for anything else in there. That's another reason why I trust that product, this company. Another reason why I trust Usana and why I choose to use it over some of the other pharmaceutical grade products out there is that our company was founded by a scientist. He's got his PhD in microbiology and immunology. And before he started Usana Health Sciences, he actually owned another company that was all about research in human cells and keeping your cells healthy. Has anyone ever gone to the doctor and gotten a strep test? You know, like cotton swab it around your mouth, like back of your throat, and you're like instantly gagging in a second. That strep test was actually made by the same founder of the man who made Usana Health Sciences. It's Dr. Myron Wentz. So before he even founded Usana, he was world known really for his work in cellular health and cellular research. So I really like that background. I also like that besides the fact that he's the founder, there is over 70 scientists that actually walk through the door every single day, and they're the ones that are working with the ingredients, with the products, with the research, and they're the ones that are doing the research for us and coming up with these products. So not necessarily a company that kind of just has doctors, sitting on the board that come in 3 or 4 times a year and get updates and makes, recommendations. They are the actual ones that are doing the work every single day. So it's very, very science-based. Some of the products are actually in the physician's desk reference, the big red doctor book, the big red book that doctors kind of use as a reference for what they can prescribe to people. Some of the products have earned their way into that book as well. So there's a bunch of different reasons why I choose to go with Usana Health Sciences. Really the science and the trust and the quality of the product is it for me. And so that's what I choose to use for myself and my family. So before we were talking about the fact that the doctors of the world now are saying that you need to be taking a multivitamin. The multivitamin that comes with Usana is called the Cell Essentials. And so this is just a nice picture of what you would have to eat on a daily basis just to equal the same amount of nutritional value that you would get from taking a daily dosage of that multivitamin. So What's going to be easier and quicker and also way more cost effective is taking a daily dosage of these cell essentials versus eating like all of these things in one day. 80 banana, 44 eggs, a bunch of oil and sunflower seeds and chicken and more fish. There's just no, I don't even think I could eat 80 bananas an entire month, you guys, let alone try to eat them in one day just to get what I need to get out of my foods, right? So this is definitely something that I would promote. I tell people to take at a minimum. Every adult should be taking a good multivitamin and a fish oil. And so this is where I put my trust, and these are the products that I take every single day. Um, you can start with the Cell Essentials, the product in the middle, just to give you guys a little bit of information about the products that they have and that they offer. Those same Cell Essentials that are in the middle there, those everyday multivitamins, are also offered in both of the packs on the left and the right. The one on the left is called a health pack, and that is just really taking it to another step of convenience for you and just putting them in little pillow packs. So it's got the antioxidant and the mineral inside of it, but it also has an extra antioxidant booster, which is great for your immune system. It's great for any inflammation that you might be dealing with. It's great for allergies, energy, all of that sort of thing. And then there's also a magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D pill in there. So that is going to be something that's just really easy to throw in your purse, to travel with, that kind of stuff. And then if you're somebody who loves the convenience of those pillow packs, you can also take it one step further and create what is called a My Health Pack, where you can sift through the rest of the supplements and enhancers that they have and make your own personalized approach to your own nutrition. Comes with your name on it, all that jazz. It's really pretty fun. But you can really just customize and create your own pack in there with some of these other products that they offer. And the other products that they offer are really set to address all of the different major systems that your body has got. So your cardiovascular system, nervous, cellular function. These products, I can tell you right now that I actually take almost all of them on a daily basis. The proflavanol is great for inflammation. Coquinone, you guys, if you're on a statin drug or if you know somebody who is on a statin drug, please make sure that they're taking coquinone as well to offset the damage that does. But coquinone is great for your cardiovascular system. It's also great for your energy. Ginkgo for your brain. Vision X, thank God for contacts, you guys, because I'm super duper blind. So I definitely take the Vision X every day. Fish oil, vitamin D. I live in Illinois and it is November. And so we're about to have like a super default on our vitamin D here going into the winter. But the United States in general is just really deficient in vitamin D. So everyone should pretty much be taking a look at your blood work if you can when you run to the doctor and check that out, because it's super important. Products for your immune system as well. They take it further and go into your endocrine system, your skeletal system, products like calcium, products for your joints, curcumin, stuff like that people are really looking for. And that I get a lot of questions that people, when they go to the store, like a Fruitful Yield or something like that, and they're looking for it, they're kind of like trying to pick all of these different ingredients and put together their own enhancers and their own mixes and cocktails. And what I love about this company is that they do all of that research. They know all of the top ingredients that you should be looking for and how much you need, and they put them together for you. And they are always up together with the latest research and science and developments, and that's what goes into these products. They also have a really, really great digestive line. I honestly, the digestive line might be one of my favorites. I take a probiotic and a digestive enzyme every single day. They're really great. What I love about this probiotic is that it's just a powder form, so you don't have to keep it in the refrigerator. A lot of people get their probiotics from yogurt, but if you're not somebody who likes yogurt, or if you don't like dairy, you're traveling, you can't really keep it cold, this probiotic is a really, really great one that you can use that is just powdered. You don't have to refrigerate it, and so it makes it really easy to use and travel with. The digestive enzyme is amazing for breaking down your food, making sure that your body can actually absorb all of the nutrients from the food that you are getting. And that Hepacil is for your liver. And I don't know if I said earlier when I was talking about my dad, but his cancer was focused in his liver. So his liver was really breaking down. So that was honestly one of the first products that I started to take because I was worried about my own liver function. So Health for all ages is something that is really one of their focuses as well. So we also have a prenatal vitamin, which is what I was taking a few months before I got pregnant, and I'm actually still taking right now because I'm breastfeeding. So I am taking the prenatals as well. And then they also have supplements for your little kids and your adolescents, and a biomega for them, a fish oil for their brain development. So supplements that can really, really address everything that you personally need for your body and your health. Because what I need might not necessarily be what you need, but there's definitely something that you can take and you can find here and trust that it's going to actually be able to do some good for your body. Another line of products that they have is called Nutrimeal. It is their meal replacements, and it's actually taste good. So that's a plus. But they have chocolate, vanilla. They also have a Nutrimeal free, which means it doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it is more of your like vegetarian blend, dairy free, gluten free, soy free, all that kind of stuff in that Nutrimeal free one. But what I like about this is that it's a meal replacement that is actually nutritionally balanced for you, so that you can actually trust what you're taking in a shake is actually going to give you all of the nutrients that your body needs to get from a full meal. That, if I'm being honest, you're probably not getting from the foods that you're choosing to get, but it is kind of all put together here in this formula so that you know that your body is getting all of the fats and all of the protein and all of the fibers that you need to get from a full meal. And so those are some of the options there. What I also like about the company is that they realize that there are different interests in that. So that Nutrimeal line, that the one that's on the top, it's super easy to take on the go. It's easy to go ahead and just throw in a blender bottle, shake it up. You can jazz it up if you want to, bananas, peanut butter, fruits, vegetables, all that kind of stuff. And it's super easy, super nutritious. But they also realize that there are some of you who are really just looking for that extra protein shake, or something that's really clean. So like zero sugars, all that kind of stuff. So they do have that line on the bottom there, the what's called the My Smart line, and there's zero sugars in it, and it's just pure protein. So not necessarily a full meal nutritionally. So if that's what you're looking for, that's not what you're gonna do here. But if you're just looking for protein, that's that bottom line there. So they have a whey protein source, a soy protein source, or you can even just get the smaller bags that are just pure protein, pure fiber, if you just need to add those to your diet. Super, super clean. I think there's like 13 ingredients in there. You can actually read them all. You can know, you can trust what you're taking, because these, their food line is also still manufactured at that pharmaceutical grade level as well. So you can trust when you're looking at that ingredient list that 100% of what's inside that product is what you're seeing on that label. Some of the other of my favorite products that Usana makes is this 5-day reset kit. If you're somebody who's looking for just kind of like a jump start to your health, maybe just kind of doing a cleanse, resetting your gut health, that kind of stuff, I absolutely recommend this 5-day reset kit. The majority of people, if you follow it correctly, lose anywhere from like 3 to 6 pounds in that 5 days. So it's a really great jump start to a health journey if you're looking for somebody who's, or if you're someone who's looking to kind of drop some weight. I also absolutely love their energy drink line. It comes in a can, and it also comes in the little surge packs, like a little tea pack that you can just add it to water and things like that. So it's really good. It's super easy to use. There are no artificial sugars, no artificial colors, no artificial caffeines. All of that jazz is not supposed to be in the drinks that you're drinking anyways. It's definitely not in there. There's actually things like vitamins and antioxidants in there. So it's a really great energy drink. You're not going to feel a huge rush. You're not going to feel your heart kind of jumping out of your body like you normally do, but you're also not going to feel a huge crash at the end of it. So I would be lying if I said that I didn't have like one of those a day, probably. And then the whole bio bar, which is really just a bar to address your gut health. So loaded with prebiotics, probiotics, there's dates in there. It's a really, really healthy nutrition bar is what it is. And then the last line that they have is their skincare line. I absolutely love it. It's the only thing that I will use on my face. Lots of science in here. A little bit goes a long way. There's a lot of plant-based nutrition in each and every single one of these products. It's super hydrating, and I just can't talk about it enough. If you haven't tried it yet, send me a message and I'll send you a sample because it's amazing. And then they also have things for the rest of your body, because when you're thinking about what you put on your body every single day, you probably have heard the word parabens at this point, but there's tons of parabens in a lot of the products that we use, and that's like it gets into your skin through your skin and into your cells super fast. So any of the products that they have for their skin and their the face line and your skincare does not have any parabens in there, any phthalates, any formaldehyde. All the things that are on that no list for things that you should be putting on your skin are not in any of these products. So this is also something that I use and trust my health to it. And something that I was also really interested in and felt comfortable using while I was pregnant, because there's lots of studies now that are showing when they're looking at what's in the umbilical cord, and they're finding parabens that made it through your body and your hair and your skin and all the way through your body and into your umbilical cord, and things that could be damaging the health of your baby. So it's definitely something that I felt comfortable and glad to know that I was using a product that didn't have any parabens in there when I was pregnant, to make sure that I wasn't passing them on to my little baby. So again, Usana just has a ton of third-party verifications, you guys, to know that you can really just trust what they say that they're doing and putting out there. And it's super comforting because of all of those extra things, those extra steps that they take to make sure that their product is clean, the quality, the purity, the potency guarantee that they have. They also have $1 million guarantee with their elite and professional athletes that they will never test positive for any banned substances. And that is huge, because when you think about and you talk about elite and professional athletes, we're talking about Olympic level, we're talking about WTA level, we're talking about NFL, NBA, all of those things. These people trust their entire careers really to products that they're taking. And in all of the years that Usana has had this $1 million guarantee with their athletes, they have never, not once, had to pay a penny out because they just know what is in their products. So we've got a partnership with the WTA. I just love this picture. She's like super badass. And this is an amazing picture of her. But it's kind of cool to know that I am taking the same nutrition that Serena Williams trusts her body with. So that's pretty cool. There's tons of different elite professional athletes, like over thousands of them. Sarah McMahon is one of the female UFC fighters. The U.S. wrestling team just U.S. Olympic wrestling team just joined with Usana. They also trust their health to Usana Health Sciences. And I mean, there's tons and tons. Manny Pacquiao has taken it. Tim Bradley. Do a little research on Usana athletes. The really cool thing about that also is that they don't pay their athletes to say that they're taking their products. It's just not something that they do. They don't want it to kind of like take down the integrity of what they're doing, or just, you know, people say that they are just paying to say that they take this product. They don't. They actually choose to take the product because they trust it for their health. Another cool partnership that they have is recently with the Spartan races. So if you are somebody that has done a Spartan race before, virtual high five to you, because I have not been brave enough to do one yet, but I will one day. I'm going to put it on my bucket list. I'm going to start training for it. But the Usana company has also partnered with the Spartan races and Spartan brand. And it's kind of fun to have some of our products with the Spartan brand recently on it and see that on there. So really just to kind of wrap this up, to update you on my family story, my dad is now a 2-time cancer survivor. And this company and this information and this world of health and research and knowledge really kind of came together when he was going through his cancer journey. And it's what kind of just changed the trajectory of my life and had me focus on health and fitness and nutrition. And I would never say that Usana cured my dad of his cancer, because it's just not true. But what I would say is that I feel extremely blessed and so, so thankful for the people who trusted the company and who loved us enough to introduce us to it, because at a time where your body is attacking you in a time where you're going through chemotherapy, and chemo is really made to go ahead and attack those cancer cells and to break those cancer cells down. But in the process, it also breaks down all of the good cells in your body. So I think that our family was extremely blessed to be able to have these products on the side, that while he was going through chemotherapy and while he was experiencing a treatment that was breaking down all of those cells in his body, he also had some products there that were focused on cellular health and cellular nutrition, and were actually able to just help him kind of rebuild his health from ground zero, literally ground zero. He did a stem cell transplant, so he had like no immune system. But I am grateful that we had a company that is so well rooted in science and in quality and integrity to help him rebuild his cellular health from ground zero. And so when I was in college, there was a time that I didn't know if my dad would make it and if he would be alive to walk me down the aisle. And if I ever got married one day, and I can thankfully say now that he has made it past 2 bouts of cancer. He's been cancer free since 2011. And we had a great fun wedding day, and now he is able to just enjoy the next generation. Here he is with my daughter, and it's really fun to see, and I am so grateful for the company, and just what it does and what it can do, what it has done for my family, and what it can do for yours. So I thank you for your time and for your interest in health. If you are interested in trying out any of the products, these are some of the ones that I would recommend. These little product packs that are already made up for you. And it's got just like a little smattering of the most popular supplements, and then a couple of different ones based on the product pack that you choose. So the Shake It Up pack obviously has got some of the nutritional shakes in there for you. The Get Gorgeous pack is going to have some core products for your cellular health and the supplements, as well as some of the skincare products. Balance for Your Belly is going to have that digestive enzyme, probiotics, that fiber for you. And then the Get Energized pack is going to have, it's going to be filled with a bunch of different cellular health supplements that are really focused on helping your body renew and create energy. And so those are some of my favorite packs. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message, send me any comments, ask me any questions. And you can find me on Facebook under Alexis Durantes Kozlowski. That's my personal page. My business page is under Shake, Smile, Sweat, Stay Healthy. And my Instagram handle is the same under Shake, Smile, and Sweat. So thank you for your time and your interest in health. I pray that this has been useful for you and that you guys are in good health now. And let me know if you have any questions. All right. Thanks.